Did you guys watch the new Spider-Man movie?
The what?
The new Spider-Man movie?
Like, I don't know about it.
I'm only asking because I haven't seen it. So
Into the Spider-Verse.
How was it?
Yes.
how was it?
I'm a fan. As a fan point of view, I loved it. I loved the story. I loved all the characters that we see, all 98 named Spider-Man, or whatever the number is. And then all like these random just spider people all around. So just visually seeing it's visually stunning as well. If you've seen the first Spider verse, then you know what I'm talking about. Story wise, I like what they're doing with it. I can't wait for the second one. Yeah, so I mean, I definitely want to know what the haters be hating about Spider Verse.
Haters gonna hate. I did not have the same experience watching this movie. I enjoyed lots of it. Like you said, the visual aspect, like any given frame in the movie was beautiful. However, the storytelling is where I get off the boat. I thought the first one had more relationships going on, like the stuff between the uncle and the stuff between the dad, the stuff between the mentor Spider-Man and the whole team, like their dynamic as a group, and then Miles's individual story of becoming Spider-Man and the whole anyone can wear the mask dynamic versus this one had like a no, actually you particularly are not supposed to wear the mask. And there was so many characters in this one that you never really got to appreciate any of the new spider people. Like you got a taste of the Drew. I'm not gonna Jessica Drew. Yeah, the Spider Woman, but you didn't get enough of her to really like see her form a relationship with Miles. It was more of her relationship with Gwen. And Gwen's part of the movie took up so much of the movie that it was almost her movie, but they didn't give her enough to really commit to that. It was to the point where they're just taking away from Miles's movie, and you're not getting those relationships that you got from the first one. Like they leaned into the relationship on the mom, which I thought was, cool. You mostly had the dad in the first one, but like when he comes out and says, "Mom, I'm Spider-Man," and she doesn't know who that is, you're actually taking away the emotional payoff of him, getting that off his chest. So he says, "Well, Dad knows who Spider-Man is." Well, then from the writing standpoint, where is Dad? Why did you write him out of the scene? Why does the one person who has some meaning behind that statement not there to react? And then the whole the to be continued, I thought it was a joke. I didn't realize that this was going to happen. There was even like a gap where the whole theater took a moment to like process and like, is this for real? Is this part of the meta humor? Are they going to give us another 5 minutes where they're in a new universe and they're going to wrap up the movie elsewhere? What do you mean to be continued? You can't be serious. And people let out a groan and people like, are you for real? Like people were upset. I was upset. I walked out of the movie unhappy, and even the music that they played was kind of like it was a downer. So we didn't get the payoff. The payoff that we were just about to get, the resolution to the story, is actually, no, you got to come back another 3 or 5 years from now when movie tickets are even more expensive, and you got to pay for that resolution. We're going to stretch it out into 3 more acts.
Actually, one more, and it's going to be next year. I actually came in there knowing that it was going to be, they announced it. They were, I don't know if you, but it's like they did an Infinity War Endgame type of deal where there's a part 1 and part 2. I went there into it like thinking, okay, that's what's going to happen. So that's why I wasn't like surprised by it. If anything, I feel like I would agree completely 100% with what you said. If I didn't watch like the first movie and didn't see those relationships with the characters, I would definitely agree with you. But I feel like they already set up all those relationships in the first movie, so it's character driven that way. The second movie, it's a continuation of that with like more surprised you just watch the movie, right? And the third one, that's the third act. That's where everything is gonna pay off, and it's gonna be next year. So it's not that wait Like I'm okay with that. So I mean that's those are my 2 cents. Definitely watch it. We don't definitely want to spoil things for you, even though we might have already done so, right? But if you're a fan, right, I think if you're just looking into getting into just seeing in the big screen, you're like a super fan like me. You have one of these or like more stuff, more collectibles. It's gonna pay off seeing that on the big screen.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I did a lot of hating on that, but those are the counterpoints. I did enjoy the experience. I just didn't like it nearly as much as the first one. I enjoyed Spider-Punk quite a bit. Just the letdown, I would compare it to like a Lord of the Rings, if it's going to be a trilogy. They left you hanging at the end of each Lord of the Rings movie, but they also gave you some resolution. So I felt like the story beats, they were leading up to the moment where he's supposed to save his dad, and then they're just like, all right, come back next time. And I really felt hanging, and the general audience is maybe not going to know every little thing. They're not going to read every Variety article. So I keep up pretty well, and so for me to have my ear to the ground and not know, like I said, you could hear the entire theater let out a groan at the end of the movie. And so to leave on a low note kind of puts a stamp on my experience and almost makes me forget the good time I did have. Although, yeah, I enjoyed it, just not as much.
Yeah, I'm sure there's like sub themes as well that came up with it as well. Just like the relationship between, if we just talk about the relationship between Miles Morales and Gwen, right? The actors that play both of those characters respectively, and we can get a lot of sub themes from that. We want to go into that.
How do you feel? I did hear this, that Dr. Umar was complaining about the movie and the relationship of a black lead, chasing after this white woman. Have you guys heard those?
Yeah, he wants that snow bunny, he said.
Yeah, he said, and I quote, he was bunny hopping.
Bunny hopping. On that tail.
On that tail.
Yeah. So, obviously, in the movie, Miles has a crush on Gwen. Mm-hmm. And it's a very PG-13, even PG romance. Like, he never makes a move. And
okay.
So there's a moment where he's sneaking his hand out like he wants to touch hers, and then the things that she's saying makes him hesitant and pull back. And so she recognizes, oh, this dude has a crush on me, and he's never going to make a move. I've got a little Pokemon in my pocket, this little Spider-Man. He's mine.
Spider-Man.
Like, he poses no threat to me, but he'll always love me. He'll always, make me feel good about myself. So she kind of selfishly has him around as this like little dunce character. So it's interesting that Umar is saying, oh yeah, he's going after the white girl when he's not going after her. Like, they've totally cut his sack off.
Do you agree with that, PJ?
I just find it unfair, disturbing in a way that we can have like there's always has to be a white savior of sorts, like we can have black on black, brown on brown, right? If we are gonna have people of color, we always have to have that white figure, that white savior. We always have to, even the romantic lead has to be a white person. And there we can have black on black, brown on brown, Asian on Asian, Asian on brown, black. I know you're probably getting excited, right? But
yeah,
it can be like that.
I really want to watch this movie now.
Well, to his point, that's what Umar's asking for, some black on black love. Because Hollywood is so afraid of giving the black man even a black woman, like, let alone the white girl. She's completely off the table. Like, right. He won't even try to go for he has a crush on her. We all know it. She knows it. The public knows it, but...
And the crazy thing is, we know that black dudes love white women. That's, like...
She's not surprised. She's most likely sleeping with the other Black Spider-Man, but they won't say that out loud. They'll hint at it, but they won't.
But okay,
give it
so
to you.
question: is she herself or another Gwen sleeping with the Black Spider-Man?
It's very heavily hinted that she's probably sleeping with Spider-Punk, but he's so like cool and nonchalant that they're not a thing.
I mean, it's
and
always
she's
it's
also cool and nonchalant. That
I mean, that's always the case, though.
She would sleep with Miles probably if Miles like had the confidence to make the move. And she knows that he won't, so it's like whatever, you can hang.
Oh, okay. And you know what's crazy too? I was watching videos of interviews of the guy that does the voice of Miles Morales and Haley Steinfeld, which does the voice of Gwen, and he's always like hitting on her and like hinting that he has a crush on her in real life, like saying like things like, "Oh, the best part of working on this movie is seeing Haley every day."
So like not even in real
and then
life.
you could see Haley being kind of like uncomfortable, and you're just kind of, and it's just so cringy, dude. And I'm like, man,
He'd be simping.
Man, it's just like
art reflects reality. Reality creates art.
What came first?
The other way around. Yeah.
What came first?
They've been playing the part for so long.
They've become them.
Yeah.
They've become them.
I mean, it's so intersectional too. I mean, the actor, he's not Latino in any way, right? Or is he?
I'm not sure.
He's Chinese. I don't know.
No,
Right?
but
like you would think, right? Like we're like they were Miles Morales, right? He's Afro Black or I mean Latino, or I don't know really what Dominican, I think, and Black.
Puerto Rican and Black.
Puerto Rican, I think. But right, like you would think maybe we have an actor out there that's also that. I mean, there's the Gwen Stacy, right? Like Gwen. They have a white woman playing, Gwen.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Why can't we get that too, right? I mean, no. I mean, I think he does a great job.